house. I'm just going to restart my phone.
Good morning, Rogersville.
This show was so awesome it locked up Lauren's phone.
It's a situation. Well, we're having some technical stuff this morning, but I mean, it's done. I'm going to post a picture here in a little bit of what these two guys just pulled off to block the sun's bright rays.
It's a real blessing. It
is a blessing. Or you'd see us like this.
It was brutal.
Oh, it's hot, and my face is scrunched up.
It was pretty bad, but
been thinking about it for a while, but yeah, it finally worked.
We're sitting here in the Resource Center studio in beautiful Jamestown of Rogersville, Missouri.
Beautiful.
There went the other footrest. These things.
Oh my gosh.
They were
falling apart today.
They were cheap.
If the chairs start exploding and we start going down, just watch till the end.
It's just the footrests that keep falling off of these things. So, so now Tom and I know what it's like to be Lauren.
Yeah. If your feet are dang, this is me in every normal chair. It's my feet swinging.
Hey, check this out. Multicam. Yeah, big deal, huh?
I'm excited.
We're big time.
Moving
now.
uptown.
We're big
time. We just talked for 3 minutes about how sketchy all of our stuff is. We're like, but we got another camera.
That's gonna break.
No, please no, not the switcher. But yeah, big deal. Lori Pace is going to be here
cool.
tomorrow or Thursday. I can't remember when she's coming in.
That's exciting because she has a lot of stuff to talk about.
She does. It's very exciting.
Whole bunch.
And so she's going to join Keaton and I either tomorrow or Thursday. I'd have to look and see what day she picked.
And if you live under a rock in Rogersville, Lori Pace is the director of the Rogersville Chamber of Commerce.
Yes. And making it happen, getting it done.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Super nice person.
Let's see.
Big Lori fan.
Wednesday. She'll be here tomorrow, so be sure you tune in tomorrow to see Lori Pace and she's going to tell us about all the cool things coming up in Rogersville from now to the end of the year.
Woo woo! Hey,
probably
got stuff. A lot of good stuff.
They're not having the chili cook-off this year.
No, they're not having the chili cook-off.
No, it's because that allows me to be the forever champion. Right?
Oh, did you win the last one?
He did win the last
one. I won the last one. So.
He did win the last one.
Oh, well.
Oh, my God. His chili was really good. It had a lot of meat in it.
I guess K-ROG could have a chili cook-off, couldn't we?
I've been saying we need to have a food competition for a while now.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to do the Thanksgiving.
We are doing the Thanksgiving special.
special.
I mean, I'm assuming other people are going to show up. We'll probably be there. Are you going to be there, maybe?
If we can eat,
Yeah, we can. We're eating.
I don't have any menus
I'm making stuff. I'm making
recipes.
stuffing, and I think Emma's making mashed potatoes.
I'm going to smoke a turkey.
My recipe is cut the top off the cranberry sauce can and dump it into the nice china.
Make your 3 to 5 minute video of how to do it.
I'm not people will seriously do that. Seriously, I'm not sure I have ever had the canned cranberry stuff.
Really?
I don't think I have.
Grandma always had it. She sliced it,
Yeah.
And
I mean, I'm sure it's good.
It's
fine. I'm sure
it tastes good with the dressing when it gets kind of mixed in with everything.
Cranberry Jello.
Yeah, it's cranberry Jello. Yeah, that's what it is.
Nothing wrong with cranberry Jello.
Good stuff. I slick it right down. That's how it works.
There it went down. It went down easy. No, I don't think I've ever had it. My phone is still back. We're back. K-ROG nearly exploded it with its coolness.
Did you guys ever have the cauliflower salad? I always liked that.
What's in it?
Well, you'd ask me that.
Cauliflower.
And
cauliflower.
And
probably mayonnaise.
I'm sure.
There's always mayonnaise.
Celery. Probably some carrots. It was very crunchy.
Yeah, I mean,
raw,
I've had cauliflower salad before.
Yeah, it's raw. But it's dressed, and it was pretty
Your mother-in-law said Jack loved it. He called it round fruit. Please pass the round fruit.
Pass the round fruit down, please.
Oh my God! Now I can't do a watch party. I'm just giving up.
Yeah.
I don't know what
you got
to
it
say.
shared though, right?
I did share it. And I mean, it's just I'm frustrated with that.
Facebook, get it together.
Facebook.
Well, they're so busy banning and.
I mean, they're monitoring a lot, so I don't know.
We better censor this.
Better censor that.
We don't know what's going to come
better
out of Will's
censored than
mouth.
sorry.
Will's
I think
mouth.
that's.
Yeah, Tom used to be the one you didn't know what was going to come out, and now it's kind of Will.
Oh, is it me now?
Yeah, it's kind of switched. You never know what's going to happen. You never know.
I've learned the error of my ways. I didn't want to get banned.
You didn't want to get banned.
Chris says, I'm looking forward to being back next week for the last day of my vacation. I'll be in the garage butchering 2 deer.
Yay!
His least favorite part of deer season is the butchering.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on there.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't want to.
My least favorite part is field dressing. Just letting you know, the one I got one on Saturday night, and it was a mess.
Yeah.
Was it?
It was a bona fide mess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
And it was windy.
it can go real
It
bad.
was dark.
I saw somebody posting about how like there was just this line of cars backed up for one of the processing.
I'm sure there probably is. Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, there's just a big wait to get your deer.
You know,
in.
folks,
Some-
listen. Let
couple
me
of
just
them
tell
were
you
full.
about like processing a deer.
Oh.
You don't have to go and process every single deer. It's so easy. If you try it a couple times,
Yep.
it's not that hard.
Well,
my
it's
mom
probably
reminded
good
me there's
practice to try
olives-
that.
There's olives.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the,
yeah.
in the cauliflower.
Me and my
Okay, I have
cousin
seen
used
that.
to-
I have not had that one. I've had a cauliflower salad
I
with
like
peas
that.
in it.
I liked it.
Me and my cousin used to have our turkey olive hors d'oeuvres that we would make, and we would stuff turkey into the black olives, and that was what we used to eat. And that was like, it's gross,
No, I will. I
but
will
it was
eat-
just
The epitome of wealth.
my brother-in-law and I will both eat black olives like by the handful.
Oh, yeah.
right out of the.
Yeah.
Right
I
out of
like
the
them,
dish.
but not that much.
I like them
I
a
mean,
lot.
they're
They're
kind of an
I
interesting
like
thing.
almost all kinds of olives.
there's not
There's-
many things that I won't eat.
I'm
Now,
eating-
John Pope posted something that the other day
No.
that they're going to be
No.
making, which
No.
is those are
Nope.
No.
bull fries.
No thanks.
I don't
I
eat.
don't-
There's going to be a quarantine kitchen coming up.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we better not ruin
we
what it
probably
is.
should.
Yeah.
No, but
ruin it,
but
yeah.
but this. So we're not telling you what it is. But the topic was enough that he called me and he's like, "Should I do this or is this too much? Is this over?" I'm like, "Go for it. Do
Yeah.
it.
Do
no,
it."
it'll be interesting. And actually, if John's watching, I kind of want to be on the. I want to be able to try those.
I'd try
do.
one. I'd try
I've had them a
anything.
couple times, but I
No.
want to taste.
I have never had them, and I have not. I mean, and I'll eat just about anything. I mean, there's very few things that and I like weird food too. So
Not interested.
yeah,
I've eaten snakes and scorpions and all kinds of stuff over in China, but
in the China.
and maybe a lot of things I may have had it and didn't know it.
That's
when I
very
was
possible.
there.
One of my
That's
favorite things that I didn't get to have this year, not yet, I might this weekend, coming up, is I did not get my deer heart. I shot the deer in the heart,
Yeah,
and so
You blew her up.
I blew it up, but usually we keep that and we'll fry that up and have deer heart.
my
It's really
aunt
good.
would. That was the thing that my brother brought to my aunt every year was the deer heart. She loved it. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had that.
It's
either.
a lot of work, but it's really.
I don't
good.
go after the organ meats
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
much.
It
I'm
tastes
just
like
going-
liver.
Ever sucked the head on a crawfish?
Yes.
I've
yes.
had crawfish tails, but I have not
I've
done
not done that either, but I think I could try that.
I would. I mean, it'd be
keep
like
saying it's
seafood.
We
really
ought
good.
to. I think it's February, March is when I think they're in down there.
The crawfish
in,
boil.
That's the first season, I think.
I
down
do.
in-
We do boil.
Yeah, we call up someplace down there in New Orleans and have them ship them
Louisiana.
up here.
Yeah.
That was kind of.
I'll tell you what I
Terrible
had. I had
accent I
never
just did.
had, and I had no idea were the crab claws.
Yeah.
Where they snip them off.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just-
Those are good. I
Oh,
had
man.
those.
Dolphin Island was where I had those.
Yeah, I
Dolphin
had those
Island?
down in Orange Beach
Dolph-
area.
Dolphin, like the
Dolphin.
dolphin, not dolphin, the dolphin.
Yeah, I had those
French
last
dolphin.
winter when we were down there. It was good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Really good stuff.
I'm getting ready to. We're gonna go down there in about 6 weeks or so, and I'm fully planning to eat a seafood tower.
Yeah.
I mean, why not? Because I don't eat it here. Because I'm like,
I want a tower this big.
I'd like you to bring me a seafood tower.
That's when you have the old lady from back in the kitchen comes out. Here's your seafood tower, matey.
I want a pirate hat.
So you're going to Dolphin Island?
Orange Beach is
Orange
where
Beach.
we're going. Yeah.
Where's that at?
It is okay. Gulf Shores,
Yeah.
Dolphin
Oh, it's-
Island,
right.
Orange Beach is like
Kind of in
I
between.
think it's 11 miles,
It's
maybe.
east of Gulf Shores, isn't it?
Yes,
It's
I'm like
it's
if
on
I'm
the way
in
to
the
Pensacola.
ocean. Yes,
Yeah.
it's on the way. It's the next town over from Gulf Shores,
Okay.
east.
Cool.
And I got confirmation last night from the place that my towers sustained damage in Sally. There was damage, hurricane.
And they got COVID.
And there's COVID stuff going on. But so I got an email last night that my condo was available, but there might be certain things that are not. And so I was asking some questions from the locals, like what is going on. But I think from what I've heard, most places are totally up and running down there. They've had 3 hurricanes go
Yeah.
through.
They're pros at this.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing. And I mean, I don't care if things aren't perfect. I want to go down there and support them. I love that place. I'm not going to cancel my vacation. You're not going to get rid of me that easy. I want my seafood tower. Yep.
Oh.
So that's what y'all are doing for like Christmas vacation?
Yeah, during that time frame.
Will you guys do anything for Christmas
we
vacation?
stick around. Our whole family's here.
Yeah.
We don't have any family really that isn't right here local. So
We haven't
I talked to
decided
your
yet.
mother-in-law yesterday.
did you?
Mm-hmm. She's a very nice lady. I answered a question for her, just
Oh,
a
yeah.
generic random question.
Yeah, she asked me for your
She's like my
number.
neighbor,
Yeah.
isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
She is.
She lives
She's
at the
very
end of the-
nice.
End of the cul-de-sac down there from where you are.
I was happy to help. I like those questions where I'm like, yeah, I can answer that question. That's no problem.
Cool. Well,
Easy peasy.
Thanks for helping out.
No problem.
Oh, I got some news. Tomorrow I'm releasing my very
Yes!
first podcast.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
Looks good.
So, and Michelle, my wife,
My wife.
is the first guest.
Oh.
And just to give you a little background, so I worked on this podcast. I started in September writing the first episode, and I got to.
scripted.
Well, you kind of need to write,
Like a-
you
yeah,
know,
that
kind
makes
of
sense.
your. And I got so like nitpicky about it that I finally.
that.
We had a meeting a few weeks ago, and I
Mm-hmm.
got really ticked off at this meeting, and I came home, and I was like, "All right, I gotta
yeah, I know
get
what
something
you're
out. I gotta." And so
Hulk smash.
I called, or Michelle was laying in bed, and I said, "Listen, you're coming in. We're gonna do this tomorrow." And she's like, "Okay, fine." So we did it. It was awesome little
Yay.
podcast.
I'm
And
excited.
so now, and I've got, I think 5 others after that are lined up. So
Very
it'll
cool.
be cool.
And what's your genre here that you're?
The genre is creativity, and if you're looking at it from the really like 20,000 foot view, it's just on creativity. But if you go in a little bit closer, we look at it kind of through the lens of film directing, film acting, theater acting. But I mean,
cool.
the idea is that you really can kind of go even further than that on creativity. Everybody uses it.
Well, yeah.
It's just trying to kind of that I've been blessed to be in those type of fields for most of my life. Mm-hmm. So that's how I'm looking at it, and those are the people I know.
That's your forte. It's cool.
But
Well,
yeah,
there are those skills that I think that sometimes people think are limited and don't realize how they're very actually transverse in a lot of
Oh,
areas.
yeah.
I mean, I was speaking one time to, I don't remember who or what or anything, but I just said, who's in sales? You get a couple people. I'm like, no, you're all in sales.
Everybody's
All
in sales.
sell.
Everybody's
If you-
in sales
yeah.
all the time.
you're selling yourself.
Yeah,
a lot of the
it's
time.
always sales. And
Yeah.
the sale doesn't end when you close it. You got to sell your. Once they're your customers, you're still selling. You're still proving your worth. But everybody's
Well,
in sales. All
you
the
know,
time.
it's funny you
So
say
sales
that.
skills are very translatable to anything.
Absolutely.
My son Sam has been kind of working at playing the electric guitar, so he's been tinkering around with this. Mm-hmm. And
Lauren's got a shout out.
hey, Lauren, miss you, friend.
Hello, my friend
Hey,
Shanda.
Lauren,
I miss you.
Maybe give her a call every now and then.
My
Lauren.
friend Shanda is a travel nurse. So she's out there kicking butt and taking names.
Thank you for your
She's
service.
hardcore. And little
How
babies.
do
She's in
we
the
How do we listen to
NICU.
your podcast? You need to drop a link.
Yeah,
I
you
will
should
drop a
probably.
link, and I'm going to be sending out the. We'll do it through the Rogersville or the K-ROG, but I'll send the link out through the K-ROG.
So if you're following K-ROG, you're going to get a link to
Yeah.
Tom's podcast.
Yeah. But Sam was watching this video with Jack White. He's the
The guy from.
the guitarist or the lead singer from White Stripes.
Yes. I was like, what is the name?
Anyways, he was talking and he was like, this guy, Jack White was like, no, creativity is like, if you're in a creative field or whatever, it's like 5 times the work that you think it's going to be.
Sure.
And Sam was like, it just doesn't seem like, he seems like kind of like a really like kind of lazy dude,
Yeah, he's a very chill guy.
And I said, that's his persona.
Yeah.
Because he's
He works
selling
very hard
himself.
at it.
He's selling himself, right?
Yeah.
He's
yeah.
selling a
He's
character.
a super talented musician.
And that's
yeah.
you see it in everything. And the people that don't show how, people that make it look effortless, it really isn't effortless.
You're right.
It's a lot of work.
Ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding. I was. Yeah, you're exactly right.
Just because I make it look easy doesn't mean
it
that it's
was.
easy.
And in
Right,
fact, most of the
Will?
time,
Right.
it's not.
Right.
Yeah, it's hard.
Well, and it's even like, like the stuff that you do, Lauren, you do it, but people don't realize how much, like, especially like with the farmer's market, how many hours. Like, I didn't know it until I started working with Lauren on it, and I was like, man, how many hours
It's a
that
lot.
she's just putting onto it. And then there's like
And
4
honestly,
other people
and
working
I mean,
on
it's small. It's a small thing, and it takes an insane amount of time. And honestly, if you want it to be successful at all, you're always advertising it either up front and kind of behind the scenes and working to get new people. And I don't think people have any idea. Like, these small town events are a perfect example of that. Like Seymour's Apple Festival or whatever. Like, they start planning those a year before.
And you got to have a committee of probably...
A committee, and then like 100 a
Yeah.
committee of probably 10 or 20, and then like 100 volunteers. Guys, there is a reason why there's not people beating down doors to volunteer for stuff, because they do it and they're like, ooh, this
takes
is a lot of work,
a lot of your
and a lot of
time.
time. And like, if you're passionate about it, then it takes up time that it shouldn't, is a
Right.
good way to put it. Like, you sit there thinking like, okay, is the market going to be successful tonight? It's just like work. I mean, okay, did I do enough for that client? I think anybody who truly cares puts so much time and effort into this stuff that, it's kind of all absorbing.
Oh, yeah.
It really
And
is.
Then you got Will every morning here, right?
This guy.
And he's a judge, and he's another judge, and he's a lawyer,
And another judge.
And I was going to say,
and,
there's a third judge
another
there.
judge, and then
Taekwondo.
Kung Fu
Taekwondo.
master,
Kung Fu.
and then
Yeah.
a dad,
Yeah.
husband.
I got to go to teaching team at church here after their show.
And
Yeah,
he goes to
yeah.
teaching team at church. And so you look and go, man, to get all that stuff done. And then when you hear certain people go, oh, I'm so busy. We were just talking about this. I'm so busy. I don't have time for this. And you're like,
Are ya?
shut it right
Are you
now.
busy?
Have you ever seen that, I don't know, a cartoon drawing or whatever, but it shows like the duck sitting on the pond. Mm-hmm. And the duck
Yes.
the duck on the pond is just floating there. And
Serene
just looks all
duck.
serene. But underneath it's just like
Yeah.
paddling like crazy.
Exactly.
It's just
Yeah.
kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's like, you
It
see
really
what's on
is.
top of the surface, but you don't see all the
below.
paddling going on to keep it all
It's
going.
the truth. But if you love something, if you really do enjoy and love something, you'll put all of that time and effort into it because you believe in it. And whatever,
Absolutely. Well, and like, there's a K-ROG chat group. There's like, what, 10 people in that? Probably.
It grows because we have
Yeah.
it's probably getting 12.
I mean-
Nobody's dropped out yet.
Nobody's dropped out yet.
If they do, we all know, and we know where to find them. But no, I mean, there's a lot that gets communicated in that group, and it's really interesting because, I mean, the whole purpose of it is to kind of make the community better, or at least bring a source of information. And so it's neat to get that group of people that are different people together, and they all are like that. They're all, I don't know what type of person that is. Maybe it's a type A personality. I don't know. But
I don't know. And when you start looking at like group dynamics and that kind of stuff, you have your realist, you have your idea person, and you have your doer. You know, and some people always stay in their it's not a quadrant.
Lane.
Their lane.
stay in your lane.
They stay in their, and then you have other people that are mimics, and they'll jump. If they see that they're lacking here, they'll do this and that kind of stuff. And that's what's kind of fun about like the K-ROG group right now is because we do have kind of a good hodgepodge mix of people.
Yeah.
And thank God for Will, because I don't think he would be able to do another thing on top of
Yeah, Will, is there anything else? You got another project coming up?
Want to do? I want to go marmot hunting tomorrow.
Actually, I do have another project I'm working on, but I can't talk about that.
Of course
one
you
yet.
do.
But the one that this is kind of cool. It's K-ROG related because, a couple of weeks ago I did a video talking about Simple Trust.
Yes.
The only place I have talked about Simple Trust is on K-ROG.
Yes.
I've got appointments
Great.
coming.
Because you should.
You should.
This is my TED Talk. You should take advantage of this deal. Believe me, I am telling people to take advantage of that deal because it's better than you're ever going to get.
Well, and
really
if you've
proud
been
of it.
reading the news,
should be.
if you've been reading the news, we're probably all going to die real soon.
Crap.
Right? So get
I
your
have
trust
not been
taken
reading the
care
news.
of.
I did not know what was going on. I didn't.
Well, if we're all going to die, you don't need a trust. But, if it's because, it's just nobody left.
Well, I'm an O negative blood type, so just, I'll take it off the whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what I thought was cool is...
Speaking of blood. Okay, you finished and then I need to talk about blood.
No, what I thought was cool was the only place I've talked about is K-ROG, but it works. People are responding to that. So that's just to let people know, if you want to sponsor K-ROG, it really does reach the Rodgeville community.
Yeah.
It's a really seriously good way to communicate what you're doing.
Oh, yeah, I have chickens.
Will is
Yes,
also a chicken
you're a
herder.
chicken man.
I think the
Call
official
man.
term is chicken tender.
Ugh,
Chicken
for some
tender?
reason that grossed me out. It's
tender?
too early. I
Somebody
totally
has
get
to-
it. I get the chicken tender thing. It just it's too early to think about chicken tenders.
You got chickens out like in the back of the house?
Yeah, he's got herds of chickens
I
that
have
roam his
3
property.
chickens. I have 3 chickens.
They're really
do
like
eggs.
they're
Yeah,
like
just
get eggs.
bug police. Is
3
what chickens
laying
are.
hens, and they have a little coop. And I get up in the morning and I feed them, and at night I put them
My
up
daughter.
and collect their eggs.
There was a house we were looking at, and we were thinking about moving out on some property, and my daughter, the first thing she asked is, Dad, can I have some chickens?
Can I have some chickens?
They're really easy.
Are they?
Yeah, they're really easy.
I think they're.
Yeah.
Okay, I got to talk about blood. So,
Yeah, let's talk about blood.
Safe
Let's talk about
Haven blood drive is coming up, and I am donating blood. I am an O positive, and you're an O negative, so you're like the coolest blood type ever.
I am the coolest
You're
blood
like,
type.
they're like, oh, you're an O blood type. We're going to really harass you to give blood.
The Bakers represent both O types in our
So
That's
is
big.
O negative the universal donor
Yes.
or the
Yes.
universal recipient?
Universal
It's the universal donor.
I think I'm O positive too.
I'm the O
O
positive.
positive is universal for all positive blood
I
types.
see.
Yeah.
O negative is
So on, oh Lord, the 24th from 2 to 6 p.m. at Safe Haven. If you don't know where that is, it's at the corner area of Millen Center where my office is, with the Reese Nichols building, and you get a mullet over T-shirt. So it's got a mullet
Maybe
on
I'll
it.
just shave mine into a mullet and go in there and get it done.
So my friend Mindy asked that we talk about this because they need blood. I mean, that is a real thing. I think they've got some shortages on blood. And so go give blood. You make an appointment online, and it's super easy, and it's right here in Rogersville. And it's November 24th from 2 to 6 p.m., and it's an amazing gift to give to people. My grandfather was an O negative, and he was in a small town, and so when they needed O negative, they're like,
They called
we
him
need
up.
you to come. And I think he saved a lady's life from a car
Really?
wreck. Yeah, for giving blood. So
Give blood.
And
Give
then
blood.
we'll give blood, and we'll go to the Wildcat afterwards and have a few beers.
we'll get yeah, and then we'll pass out on the street. So that'll be a fun thing.
Hey, Chris Ballard reminded us that last Thursday we had
Oh, yeah.
our first ever fundraiser telethon here on KROG.
Oh, that's right. It
That was
yeah.
fun. I watched a
was
good
a-
chunk of it.
A rousing success. I
It
think
was
they
great.
raised $13,000
What?
right here on KROG.
I'm going to have a fundraiser next week.
Well, like we were
Tom's
talking about before,
podcast,
there was a
bud.
lot of work that went in
Right.
There was a lot of
beforehand to
pre-work
make
that
a
was
success.
that. Yeah, that was
So,
great. They did
yeah.
such a good job. I was really proud
cool.
of the kids who go to I've now forgotten it, Young Life
Young
and
Life,
Wildlife, and that they were on there talking about their experience. I think that's
That's
and
cool.
I learned a lot about Young Life during the time that I watched it. It was awesome. It was
Yep.
good.
It's a good deal.
Chris, if your preaching thing doesn't pan out, you could be a telephonist.
That's pretty much what his preaching thing is a
I guess it really kind of is. Yeah.
Oh, he's not here to defend himself. That's terrible.
Oh, okay. My friend Shanda, who is a nurse, says we're also starting to run low on convalescent blood. So if you're recovering from COVID, please go donate plasma. See, we have all kinds of interesting people that are giving us information right now. Oh, she meant convalescent plasma. We got it. We know. Go donate plasma. Do
What's
it.
the difference on plasma and just blood?
I have no clue.
Plasma, they separate it out. So you've got the plasma, which I don't really know what it is, but
They stick the needle in your neck.
no, they still take it out of your arm, but they put it, they run it through a. It's called apheresis donation, and I used to do this.
Yikes.
Because what they do is they fake news. Tom says, Chris. What they used to do is they pull your blood out, they separate it, they take the plasma and then put the other stuff back in, or they'll take the red blood cells and put the other, or they'll take the white blood cells and put the other stuff back in. So you can actually donate apheresis like every other week. Because I would go every Friday afternoon and do apheresis donation, and it's really good because
So you got like 2 lines going
You're
in
just
then?
like keep it.
yeah, you've got one needle going in, but there's 2 lines coming out of it, and it sucks it out, and then it does its thing, and then it pushes it back in.
Really?
And so the weird thing about doing that is they put you in there and they put a heat blanket on you, and they'll put hot water bottles on you because when the blood comes out of you and does that, it cools off. And so when
Right.
they put the blood back in, it's cold.
Oh, weird. This is back with the chicken tender situation.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
cold,
totally
and so it
grossed
makes
out.
you cold when that happens. And so they have to
Weird.
keep you warm when you do that. But you do that because, like, cancer patients need red blood cells.
Yeah.
And so they either have to
So
destroy...
it's worth being a little cold.
Yeah, they either have to destroy whole blood to get the red
Right.
blood cells for cancer patients. So if you donate just red blood cells or just do apheresis donation, then you're saving the whole blood for people that need whole blood. And so
gotcha.
you
This
just
is-
give them the part they need.
This.
But it takes like...
I mean, we should just have a medical show.
we should. You can give blood like in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
This takes like an
It's-
hour,
I
and a
knew it
half.
did.
It
I
takes
mean-
a lot longer.
Really?
Yeah.
So that's actually where I binged watched Lost the first time, was just sitting there
Doing your thing.
doing that. 'Cause
Very
you're just
nice.
laying there for an hour and a half.
And I mean, this is such a great way that you can help people that is really no effort. I mean, unless you're afraid of needles, then I understand.
Well,
But,
I got to where I could fall asleep
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
while it was happening.
When I went in the Navy, I was like
get used to it.
scared to death of needles. But then as I,
Yeah.
They'll get you over that real
they
fast.
got me
Then
over
they're
it
like-
real quick. Get over here. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Here we go. Shanda tells us the plasma is the liquid portion of your blood. They filter out the white cells, red blood cells, and the platelets. So
Gosh, this is like phone a friend. We have a medical expert. We need like some sort of other expert
if
on
we only
here
had a
answering.
lawyer, that would help.
We need to get Shanna in here and just have her talk to us about like
That would be
Shanda's
cool.
blood and
Shanda's a
stuff.
NICU nurse, so I mean,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
she is top notch.
Hey, we're always up for having guests.
Yeah. Anytime you
job.
want to come, Shannon. Anytime you're not traveling out, she's probably up north right now. I think maybe I don't know for sure. I'm a
Well,
bad
we
friend, I
have
should
now
know that.
our system lets us bring guests online.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a new feature that just came out.
Oh, cool.
With Ecamm, so we can actually send a link to somebody and they can appear on the show via remote.
So
or whatever.
fancy up in here.
I know.
We've got a big screen covering the sun. There's multiple cameras.
We
Now-
block
We
the
have
sun
experts available to
Now we
answer
just need some
questions.
sponsors to pay for all of it.
Yeah,
no
there's that
kidding.
too.
Could really
It
use
seems
more
like there's more we need to talk. We're going to let Lori cover all of the things coming up in Rogersville.
So we're saving back some
Oh,
topics.
I do want to talk about something that's me. She's still in
Still in
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis,
Yep. So
Be
on,
careful up there.
Yeah. Well, when she started, literally weeks before it got cray cray. And
Really?
so she,
Minnesota is a beautiful place, but that was crazy.
That
what
was
going on
crazy.
up there. What'd
Yeah.
she say?
That was crazy.
Oh, I'm
Just
still
there.
in Minneapolis.
So on December 5th, which there's a ton of stuff going on in Rogersville on December 5th, there's going to be an artist open house at Heritage Post from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And these are like professional artists. Micah is an abstractionist. Indy is a jeweler with, I believe, semi-precious and maybe even precious stones. And then, oh my gosh, Dan he's a wood turner. So like really nice wooden bowls.
cool.
So these are not Pinterest crafters, which no offense to
Pinterest
them.
fail?
Because I mean, we all have some Pinterest fails. I mean, I'm guilty of that. But these are like, this is what they do for a living. They are professional artists, I guess.
Stuff
is
for
the way to put
sale.
it.
Yeah.
Get your stuff. It's for sale.
Okay.
So,
Drumstick Dash Thursday morning.
yes.
Thanksgiving morning.
And that, I feel like Drumstick Dash is going to be really busy. So December 5th, you're going to have an artist open house. The Drumstick Dash is coming up with Safe Haven too.
That's on.
It's on Thanksgiving
That's
morning.
on Thanksgiving morning.
And so
So
go to
is that-
Safe Haven's page to learn more about that. Chris runs that with them, and it's a great thing. And the T-shirt's really cool.
It's the coffee can. Go back to that.
The T-shirt is cool. Oh, look at that. Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2.
And we're back.
And we're back.
I could do Wayne's World impersonations all day. And I mean, quote it wrong. Because why can guys quote movies perfectly? And I'm like, there's Bob, and that's a totally wrong quote. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's just we have that part of
It is.
we
It's
have-
a part
we
of
have
brain
a special
difference.
part of
I
the special
cannot
brain
quote
difference.
movies. I'm like, when they said, fly high, friend, they're like, that's not the quote at all.
girls remember like all the kissing scenes and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
What?
Remember
No,
that
we
time he
don't.
kissed her?
No. Girls are like, I watched that movie. It entertained me during that time. I've forgotten everything about it because I've got other stuff to do.
Well, Johnny Tyler, I forgot you were there.
What?
You may go now.
Madcap.
Oh,
You
wow.
may go now. Oh my god.
Leave the shotgun.
I don't even know what movie they're quoting.
Tombstone.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm a Wyatt Earp person. So there is an excuse for
I
that.
think I've only watched. Of course, Wyatt Earp was what? That's a 3-hour movie.
Yeah, it's a long
I
movie.
love me some long, epic movies.
It's a good movie.
Yes,
it's
it
a good
is.
one. But,
So yeah, no, I can't quote Tombstone because I was a Wyatt Earp kid.
Shanda says you have a horrible memory, anyways.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
terrible. Everybody who knows me knows this.
Burn.
Everybody's like, "Hey, Lauren, remember that time that thing happened?" I'm like, "Nope, I do not." I'm like, "Mom, I don't remember virtually ever seeing you during my childhood. Were you there?" She's like, "Yeah, I was
But
there."
to be fair, Will is a lawyer, which is all about memorizing.
Well, some of it,
So
yeah.
you
and
can
then-
remember stuff for me.
And then I've spent 20 years on stage, which
Yeah.
is all about memorizing.
Oh, I guess
So,
that's true.
yeah.
That makes sense. That really does make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, here's how my brain works. Lauren retains information. If it's vitally important to someone's life, safety, health, my job, my children, maybe Jesse, it goes on one side. Everything else goes over here, and it's gone.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
I'll tell you, I have extensive notes and databases
You'd have to,
stored in the
yeah.
cloud, on my phone and on my iPad that I'm constantly referencing
Yeah,
to look up stuff because it's
Well,
just
it'd be
so
weird
much.
if you didn't.
Yeah,
I was
It'd
actually
be one of those weird photographic memory
when I was
people.
sitting out in the woods. I was reading. Some days I'll read because I know there's not going to be any deer out, but I'm just sitting out there because I know there's like 2 minutes. At the very end of the evening, the deer may run out. So I was reading a book, and this is an old book that I had read, like early marketing book, and it was amazing how what I read then retained like 15 years ago into my head, and it became like this idea inside my head that's what I believe. That's kind of how I market.
That's interesting.
And
yeah.
I read it, and I was like, "Oh, that's where I got that idea."
Oh, it came from. You hope that person
And
was
I
right.
had, I had it circled in the book, and I was like, "Oh, that's how," and I've been using that principle for a long time. So it's kind of neat going back and reading some of those old books that you go.
You know what I think is weird? I've listened to a lot of books on tape and audiobooks, and like when I drive, and then if I will listen to them later, I can remember where I was in the
Right.
drive
when you were listening to
when I
it.
was listening to it the first
Weird.
time. I'm like, oh, I was outside of Eldon right then.
Oh, yeah.
driving
See,
back
I
from
kind
law
of
school.
black out and then wake up at my location.
I've had that happen. That's really weird. It's like I'm home. I don't remember
Kind
driving
of like the
home.
Manchurian Candidate, right?
Like that's how
The
it goes
apple
for me.
on the tree is green and tastes great.
It's gotten much worse since I had children too, because then your mind is, I think, always kind of focused on them and their stuff, and then so I mean it's pretty spooky.
My wife says it's pregnancy brain.
Yeah, and it doesn't
yeah.
ever go away.
Yep.
No,
So.
it's a real thing.
All right, parting shots for this morning. I want everybody to go to simple.willworship.com and get your free appointment to
Yes.
come talk about your estate plan. I don't care how old you are. If you're 25 years old, if you've got kids, you need to come in.
Yeah.
We're going to make it easy for you. We're going to make it very affordable for you.
Keep it out of the
Check-
government's hands.
You got to do it. Check the box and get it done.
It's 15 minutes of your life. If you don't like it, you took 15 minutes, you learned something, and you decided it wasn't for you. But
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah.
We'll sit down here, we'll have a cup of coffee, and we'll talk about it.
You will
Slow
not
cup
regret the
coffee.
situation.
Yep. Simple.willworsham.com.
I don't plug
last
this
shot.
too much, but I am a realtor.
Yep.
And I can't begin to express how difficult and interesting and uncharted territories the local real estate market is right now. So you may think it's going to be super easy to sell your house by yourself. I can't tell you the amount of hurdles you will come across during that. And it's just very interesting what's happening. The inventory is historically low, and there's a lot of people wanting to move to this area. So if you don't call me, call another local professional realtor that you've got some good references from. Because there's good realtors and there's bad realtors, just like every profession.
And if you do decide to sell your house on your own, keep my number handy for
Don't
when
talk
it
to
goes wrong.
Yeah, oh yeah. That's one of the big things I tell people about for sale by owners. Real estate brokerages do, I believe, in my opinion, add a layer of protection in that aspect, because they do usually have attorneys. And when somebody sues somebody, they sue everybody
Oh, yeah.
involved.
Hey,
So-
Chris, I'll put the link in the comments for you.
So seriously, use your local trusted professionals. That's my whole thing. Whether it's a realtor or a lawyer, an advertising person, marketing person, use those local professionals. Because, hey guys, guess what? Lauren got scammed recently for a lot of money by somebody that I didn't check their references. So, and I'll tell this story further because I'm on a warpath.
Oh.
And I don't have all the information yet. But I will tell this story on K-ROG soon, I'm hoping. And
if she would have called her friend who was a marketer,
yeah, I know.
she wouldn't have gotten into that trouble.
Yeah. So anyway, I screwed up. But seriously, and it can happen to you. So it's very important to check references, talk to people, find out what's going on before you give somebody money. And I'm a relatively savvy person, and it happened to me. So.
Well, and I think that's a good, I mean, not to get back on another tangent, but I think it's a good thing to remember is there are people that are really good at what they do. And if you want to waste a bunch of time, do it on your own. But if you want to get it done right the first time,
Yep.
hire them, folks.
Tee it up.
Yep.
Yep.
So there,
And on that note, if you need a video, Bravo
well, I got
Creative.
to talk to you about that too
.net.
because we want to start doing some videos.
Yep.
So,
I'm meeting with Tom in about an hour and a half.
and I'd like to say I helped arrange that meeting. So I was like, hey, there's this guy named Tom. You should probably talk to him about that video. Unless
She wants a referral fee.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. And any
got a
trust
quarter.
that you get, no. Oh my god.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow, Keaton and I, with Lori Pace.
Oh, and next week, our next Tuesday show will be right before Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Yep, and that night will be the
Thanksgiving
special.
special.
Yep, tune in for that. It'll be awesome.
Wash your hands.
Bye.